Day. Now, this crime, as you well know by now, involves so many children, and lots of the children have seen the news coverage as well or heard maybe their parents talking about the shooting. So how should you talk to your kids about what happened? Well, we asked our Facebook followers what they thought, and Andrea Fan wrote this: going to try to keep them from knowing about it. They should not be afraid to go to school. Aaron Clark had a different view, saying, although my children are only in elementary school themselves, I will be real and forthcoming. The reality of today seems to be happening more often, so I will shield them from the gruesome details, but not the ugliness of the truth. Well, 6 News anchor Lori Tucker continues our team coverage right now with some of the best ways that you can talk to your kids about this tragedy. Lori, a lot of people wanting to know what to do tonight.
Well, we've got the answers for them from a noted expert in our area, Dr. Joshua Williams, a clinical psychologist. Thank you so much for coming in. Obviously, television has a way of sort of shrinking the world. Kids as young as 7 and 8 are asking, and this is so heartbreaking, can this happen to me? So, Dr. Williams, how best can a parent respond to that?
We're always, I have to say I'm thinking this has been such a rehearsed answer because we've been in this situation so many times.
Sadly.
Very sadly. We will always watch to see the age of our children. I like the Facebook comments. They were very helpful. We're not going to thrust this upon smaller children. If they bring us details and questions, then we do sit down and calmly tell them what's happened in the broadest of terms, and we offer reassurances about their safety and how we as parents and the community are looking out for them. With older kids, we're going to discuss the ramifications of things like this and how these sorts of events can happen. I really do think that this is yet another time where people say we shouldn't make these political events, but in fact, this is a public safety event. This is something that affects all of us, and it can happen here. It has happened in our churches here. It has happened in our schools, and it will continue to happen unless we as citizens and legislators and parents group together and start problem solving.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to talking to our kids. As parents, should we share with them that we feel sad? That share our feelings as well? Do you think that validates theirs and let them know that they're going to be okay?
Oh, absolutely, and to show them that we are resilient and that we can handle terrible situations and get through them together, but not to ignore the fact that we have our own emotional reactions to them. We're not looking to our children to console us. We're looking to console and reassure them. Same thing with the hurricanes and all the other things we've been living through together lately. We're there to provide some notion of security and reassurance.
In an episode that is truly out of our control. Now, we have seen such heart-wrenching photographs of children from the scene. I've never seen children more terrified, and those of you at home, I venture you haven't either, especially this little girl in blue. Abject terror on her face, rightly so. What about these children who survived the shooting? They're going to need a lot of therapy, I would think.
I think about therapy, but they're going to need
Counseling?
a lot of reassurance. Well, we like people to be able to find places and people they can talk to about things like this. Any kind of trauma, we talk about post-traumatic stress disorder. One of the treatments for that is talk therapy, psychotherapy, and having enough licensed psychologists and mental health professionals in our community is never more essential than when things like this happen.
Right now, grief counselors and things like that
there are
coming to the
people
school.
Who the Red Cross has trained people for crises like this, but in the long run, we want our clinics filled with doctoral level psychologists and social workers and people who are trained to help in the long run, because yes, clinical issues do arise from traumatic situations like this.
Absolutely. All right, Doctor, we are out of time. Thank you so much for your insight, parents. I hope that was helpful to you in engaging how you talk to your child, and really it is all about their age and what's age appropriate.